Hello, comadres, and welcome to the Moon Report. I am Marlene, your resident moon goddess, always here to share space with you with so much love. Today, we have a new moon in Cancer. Thank you for watching, whether you're here with us now, live on Zoom, or you're watching the recording later. It's always so amazing to get your feedback on these reports and keep them coming. Tell me, what you like, what you don't, what you want me to add. I'm always open to feedback. And it being summer, the midpoint of the year, why not look at things that you can change, improve on, get inspired with, create? So let's support each other in that way, like always, like good comadres. So we have a new moon in Cancer. And this one has a lot of deep, heavy information that's going to come along with it. And I just I wanted to simplify it as much as I can so that you can actually get what you need from it and really use these moon reports in your decision making or in the way that you're going to decide to process your emotions or in the way that you want to self-care. Think about where you are at this time in the midpoint time of the year and what is it that you want to see by the time that the year ends, and understanding that right now everything that you visualize now has the possibility and the potential to come to fruition throughout these 6 months, but we need to really get aligned with our healthy emotions. And really, I think that this new moon it is here to help us with that, but it's in such a radical way that we really have to be careful about the way that we're expressing ourselves and the way that we're reacting right now. So, for that purpose, I've wanted to touch on three main points for this new moon. This new moon is in Cancer at 7 degrees and it's happening at 10:52 today. Today is Tuesday, the 26th, and no, the 28th. And it's happening tonight. So it's going to be emotionally heavy. Cancer is known to be the most emotional sign of the zodiac. It's really the sign of home and family, and it's the seat of the soul of the child. For that reason, there's a large spectrum as to the maturity of that child and where that child sits in Cancer, what mother wounds that child may have experienced, and where are we at with that? Where are we at with the healing of all of that? So happening at 7 degrees, it happens in the first decadent. So what that means, it happens in the first 10 degrees of the sign and the house. Well, the sign transits a house that has 30 degrees to it. So depending on what degree this moon falls on, it really defines the level of maturity that this child's going to have, being that this child in the 7th degree is not very mature. How does that translate in our life? Well, we may act from that wound. We may react in a way that's very childlike. Cancer is the most childlike of the water signs. It is the mother. It's very nurturing and nourishing, and at the same time can react in a real childish way. So depending on how you're expressing that emotion is where you kind of lay here. And that's why I'm like, okay, we need to be careful about what we're saying and how we're reacting at this time. There's a lot of other aspects that I'm going to go through that help further define this. But just know that at this time, we have the potential to transmute a lot of anger. This mama is angry. And the reason that she's angry is because she is conjuncting Black Lilith in Cancer where this new moon is happening. And I'm going to go into what that means. It is also squaring Jupiter in Aries, a very definitive placement right now. I believe that is happening. And it's also not really, well, it's kind of like in a semi-square to the North Node. But the really important thing here with the North Node is that Uranus is conjuncting the North Node. And I want to talk a little bit about that too. So Black Lilith. So Black Lilith is the dark, feminine, primal, unexpressed energy of the woman, right? The feminine. And she's pissed, and justly so. Cancer has to do with security and safety. And right now, every woman in the world is feeling a threat to that, mostly in the United States. But if it's happening somewhere, it can happen everywhere, right? So I bet every woman is watching, and not only watching, extending their hand to other women, right? Because we're angry. And what does anger do? It moves us. It works in our lower three chakras, anger. And what that does is that creates momentum. Sometimes not always for the right reasons. So we have to be careful, but it does create us to move, right? So the women in the United States are pissed. The women around the world are pissed for different reasons. And we are being robbed of our liberties in many ways. And having this placement here, I find, is super, super symbolic of what we're feeling right now. And depending where we are in our emotional intelligence and our emotional development, how we're going to react to that, not only towards ourselves, but everyone around us. And how is that anger working in your personal life? Like, how is that being expressed for you? Now, Black Lilith is wild and chaotic. And that combined with a new moon at 7 degrees of Cancer is kind of a slippery slope there. So watch yourself, watch your words, watch your thoughts, watch the impulse, because Jupiter is in Aries squaring this new moon, a fire sign, and Jupiter expands everything it touches, blows it up. In this case, impulsive, emotional, maybe outbursts. Like, it reminded me of like I heard a astrologer refer to it as a big tantrum. The chart right now looks like a big tantrum, that Cancer is having and the Great Mother is having. And there's a lot of pain that comes with that, not only because of what we're experiencing now, but also if we have in our past any kind of child wound around the mother. This could be triggered right now. And I do want to say it is an important time to shine it to the sun and heal it. We are in the time of summer. We are pretty much taking stock of, what's happening, where we're at. We know what we've done. We know how we've grown or how we haven't grown. And now we want to see how we're going to move forward with all of this, but really enjoying our lives and really bringing in the pleasure of summer, But with all these things happening that are not making us feel safe, which is one of the most important things for Cancer, to feel safe and secure, it's really hard to find that pleasure. I know I'm having a hard time accessing it. So it's a constant reminder of that it's still available for us, no matter of what our external world is showing us right now, because we don't always understand the mystery. We can't. We are tied down by the human condition, if you will, and we're not always going to understand the entire plan. But I do know that I feel that this is the beginning of the end of a lot of this. But usually when it's in the beginning of the end of something really dark, it does an uproar before it goes. You know what I mean? It's not going to go out without a fight. It's going to fight like hell. And this is what we're feeling, that fight. And Catherine, a fellow comadre, said to me, you know, these people that did this knew how to play the long game while others didn't. And I thought that that was significant with having our South Node in Scorpio. Okay. And for you regulars that are here, you understand what I mean by South Node. But for the new ones, South Node means the node of the moon that tells us where we're coming from, what lessons we either have transmuted or should have transmuted. And the North Node tells us where we're going. We have that dynamic happening now in Taurus and in Scorpio. So Scorpio being the South Node and Taurus being the North Node. And a lot of these scorpionic shadows are being shown. But it's significant that I'm talking about the South Node when I'm talking about this, because we're, you know, that means that stuff we should have transmuted, that stuff from the past that we're still carrying. And that has a limited time on it. Because like it or not, we're moving towards Taurus in the North Node. And what does that mean? Something that brings us closer to our bodies and to ourselves, an energy of faith and stability and harmony that we feel first in ourselves and what we're building and what we're creating in our bodies. You know, and in the knowing that what feels good is our map, if you will, our roadmap as to where we need to go. Why can't we have the life that we desire? Why can't we create and manifest the things that make us happy and that make us feel stable and in harmony with the earth, with each other, with ourselves? So it's really, really important to just know that, you know, have patience with people throughout this time. They're gonna have a tantrum, maybe. It's okay. You might be the one having a tantrum, you know? And just be really, really patient with people showing their lower unexpressed emotional feelings, you know? This is where we get to exercise our light work, because we're connected with these things. You know, for me, astrology is the language of light and love. And by extracting, by studying it and communing with it and getting the insights from it, it really helps us be a step ahead of what's coming if we can integrate it. So this moon is also about integrating feelings, you know, Uranus being the great awakener, sitting with the North Node right now in Taurus. You know, it's really highlighting the work that it takes to be better. It's an earth energy. So you've got to build it. You've got to show up for yourself. You know, no matter what the external forces say, just understand that everything is permanent. We go through seasons, we go through phases, some of them obviously longer than others, but our personal strength doesn't change. What we can access from inside of us doesn't change. And really, it's important for us to access these deep rooted wounds and these deep rooted emotions, because it just clears the way for exactly what we want and to open the roads for what we want. So, you know that whatever is going on right now, you're doing the work, you're in it, you know, we're all in it. And having all of these scorpionic placements, if you will, just let me know that we're all in it. Like, it's not me only experiencing grief and loss, it's all of us. I have faith in the language of light, and it's telling me that we're all hurting and we all feel like we're losing. And we really have to be forward thinkers like Uranus, great awakeners like Uranus, to believe that that North Node is there and that all this shit is the garbage that we're letting go of from the South Node in Scorpio. All the hidden truths that we didn't know, all the bullshit, the long game, as Catherine called it. Scorpio has patience and patience and patience to fuck you, literally, and figuratively as well. In all ways, to possess you, right? So when Kat said that, I was like, damn, people really do that. People really do have the patience to fuck each other over. And that's a reality that it's sad to say, but that is in the dimension that we live in. And the only way to transmute that is through love within ourselves. That is the only anecdote. Got it. So infuse that love. Infuse that love in areas where you know you need a little maturity. Infuse that love in the areas of deep-rooted mother wounds. And, have patience with infuse that love with others when they don't know better and they're having a tantrum in front of you. And they're not expressing their highest vibration, emotional intelligence, right? It's okay. We've all been there. So just really access that love. It's really the only thing that really gets us through moments like this, and faith. So, comadres, deep, deep love to you. I really suggest that you find ways to infuse pleasure, joy, and play into this summer. Whatever way you can find doing that, please do it, because that energy is so strong. That creative force is so strong that there is ripple effects to the art you create, to the beautiful conversations that you have, to you showing yourself love and self-care, to you working out with nature, having ceremony, taking a vacation, finding pleasure in the mountains, falling in love. Do it all with passion. Be primal about it, about this feminine force, because it is rising, whether they like it or not. And we're seeing a lot of the examples of they don't like it. They don't really like it, but it's happening and they really can't stop it. And whoever's listening to this, is hearing the call of the mystic in some way. And it's up to us to stand up, to step up in whatever way we can, and to live these principles. We sometimes stand up in very personal ways. Sometimes we stand up in public ways. It doesn't matter how you're doing it. Just do it. It's important for all of us. So I hope that you feel inspired. I'm sending you so much love. And till the full moon, I will see you then. Mwah.